form of English examination that is standard would be void of comprehension passages. So the earlier we accept it as a norm, the better for us. So I'm going to be taking us through what you need to know, or you need to have in mind before you approach any reading comprehension passage. And once you understand this, you are halfway already into gaining mastery and solving all you need to know in comprehension passages. Okay, we have here. So this is it. Reading comprehension. Okay, we're looking at what reading actually is. The important guides to reading comprehension passages. Under that, you have comprehensive reading, and then you have understanding question types. Very important. You need to understand different types of questions so that you know how to answer each question. You don't answer all questions in comprehension passage the same way. They are different, so they test a different level of perception and how you interpret questions. Now, what is reading comprehension? It is the act of making meaning out of a printed material. The term comprehension is simply the ability to understand, while to understand is to know or to realize the meaning of a word or language. Of course, this is very vital. It is key for English language. It is a language of communication, officially, socially, even education, language of the law, marketing, and what have you. English has come to stay, very important. So it is because of that these exam bodies tend to bring out comprehension passages all the time, as well as creative writing. They use that to test your level of understanding of language and your ability to communicate. So a good student of English must be able to understand a passage and interpret it properly. Now, the important guides to comprehension passages. The first thing you need to know is that you have to read comprehensively. And for you to have a comprehensive reading, these four headlines are very important. You need to have an open mind to the passage. You need to have what we call a first reading, question reading, and then second reading. What does it mean to be open-minded? Now, before reading any passage, it is important to note that you are not guaranteed of an interesting passage in any exam. What does this mean? Do not expect that all the passages you will come across must be interesting. It must be a story that you would like to hear. No. It must not be a story of your favorite musician. It may not be a story of the Bible or the Quran, which you probably must have been used to. It will not be a fairy tale of your growing up as a child. It may not be a story of your favorite food. Now, however, exam bodies try to bring up trends. And when I say trends, I mean they try to bring up things that are familiar, things that could be appealing to students, things that are trending in the society that they believe you must have been aware of. So examiners are always mindful of their students. Okay, like I tell you, every successful teacher will make sure that his or her students get the maximum help they need to get. So if exam bodies should set exam at this era, they should be setting things like the coronavirus, pandemic, and then lockdown and all that, because they believe, these things are things that students will readily get associated with. So they are mindful of us, okay? But nevertheless, what if you don't care about coronavirus? What if you don't want to know anything about the lockdown? What if you feel it's a scam? What if you are so religious that you don't even believe it is existing? You just want to think of something else. So they try as much as possible to ensure that the passage is something you can associate with. But then, take it or leave it. You will not be able to satisfy everybody. So do not have it in mind that any passage you come across must appeal to you. Nevertheless, they try as much as possible to do that. So what do we say here? We say, hence, to maintain focus and achieve success, one must deliberately seek to know the author's mind. Okay? If the passage is not something of your interest, don't bother about that. Because you want to make good grades, just focus. just focus on what you are reading, and then try to find out what is this author trying to say. That is you building interest in what you're reading. It will help you to understand better. Now, before you do anything, this is the first reading. The first time you want to approach the work, you do what we call a first reading. First reading requires glancing through a passage to get the general idea in it, such as getting to know the topic of discussion, what is being said about, why the author chose to talk about it, or his or her view, and the intention for the topic. Now, you read a passage. Mostly in exams, you don't get to see the topic of the passage. So it is when you start reading, you find out, oh, this passage is talking about coronavirus. Now, you need to ask yourself, what is this author trying to say about coronavirus? Is the content about the origin of coronavirus? Is it about the nature of coronavirus? Is it about the danger? Is it about the cure? Is it about the prevention? Is it about the creation of vaccine or the lockdown or effect? There must be something the author is facing or targeting in that topic. So when you're reading in the first time, all you want to know is what is the topic, what area is the topic about, what is the mind of this author. That is what you're looking at in that time. So you do a quick reading just to find out that this is not the time for you to be marking out details. For instance, they said something like coronavirus came out on the 19th of December 2019. You don't need to start marking or putting that into your head. All you need is just get the general information, because this time around you don't know what the question is about. So your first reading is just to get the general information and try to enjoy your reading at this time. Now the next thing you want to do is the question reading. Now this will prepare you to focus on the things you need to look out for in the passage. It is when you read the questions now, you read all the questions. Now the question will help to direct your mind. Okay, these are the things the author or the examiner wants me to find out. So it will help you when you go back to the second reading. Now, in going back to the second reading, you have specific things you're looking out for. Now, the second reading is the point where you want to read with care. It is more of a perusal than skimming, trying to get facts that will aid the construction of the response required of you by the examiner. Now, what do you do here? This time around, if you've read the first reading for 3 minutes, this second reading will actually take you close to 5 or 6 minutes, depending on your reading speed. Because this time around, you are just searching. It's just like, the first reading is like entering a room just to look at what the room looks like. You want to see, oh, it's spacious, decoration is nice, I like the curtain, it tallies with the rug or with the carpet, or I like the bedspread. You just look around, okay? But second reading is like you trying to look for something hidden, okay? They tell you to pick 10 items that look alike in color, okay? When you enter the room, you are now specific. You are searching for things that look alike in color. That is what second reading is like, as against first reading that you just enter the room to observe generally. So this is very important. Now, the last thing you want to do is you must develop a calm nature as you proceed to reading the passage, disabusing your mind from negative impressions about the passage. Approach it as though you are about to read a story to yourself and make up your mind to enjoy it. This is very important. Some of us approach reading as though, comprehension passage again. Once you see the passage, probably is about 1,000 words. You are already scared. No, be calm. Or you're reading and then you begin to see big vocabularies. It is the words of science, and you're not a science student. You are scared. No. Or you begin to see some new words and it's not something that is just forget about it. Just let yourself know that you are calm. You want to enjoy this. Okay? And you need to take off that exam fever, all right? Take it off. It's like a student who you see, I know some of our students in school who will enjoy reading a big novel, 1,200 pages, 800 pages, 600 pages. Now, because that novel is not set in any exam, they sit down, relax, and enjoy it. But give them a novel of 100 pages, and it is for exam, it is for school. They are nervous. Same thing with movies. You can watch a movie and enjoy it 2 hours, 3 hours, seasonal movies. But I tell you, if that movie is one of your curriculum, you want to write exam on it, you are tensed already. You are trying to look out for too much details. Okay? So develop a natural calmness while you are reading comprehension passage. Read it as though you are telling yourself a story with a normal reading speed. And I tell you, you will enjoy it. Alright, we are going to stop here and have a discussion. Next time we'll continue on understanding question types so that we'll proceed and see what it takes. I hope you enjoy this.